shock out hardcore from the very first dynasty. Strictly rubber dub it all a fly for me. Beer sexy girl come alive for me. What the Babylon them all a try for me. Tell it to the rummy so we too deadly. Style up but and give them in a medley. Hold up on the mic and him the boss them say. Sit up on the rhythm and we whoa. Can't show them off with the lyrics so we get. Sit up on the rhythm we a cream of the crap. Hold up on the mic come on a real lifestyle. When we come out dance all of the black. And the truth that you must comply. System of violence Rastafari. Now stop talk and we don't tongue tie. Tell it to the rebel general don't shine. And the truth that you must comply. System of violence Rastafari. Now stop talk and we don't tongue tie. Tell it to the rebel rude boy them no shine. They try to stop us, take away the rights and freedom of movement. But we still a carry on, and Uncle this and Uncle Tom. Now about the one where you ring the alarm and call the police pan way. Take what we think so we integrity, but how do them, none of them can stop way. They try to stop us, take away the rights and freedom of movement. But we still a carry on, and Uncle this and Uncle Tom. Now about the one where you ring the alarm and call the police pan way. Take what we think so we integrity, but how do them, none of them can stop way. And the truth and you must comply. System of violence Rastafari. Now stop talk and we don't tongue tie. Tell it to the rebel general don't shine. And the truth and you must comply. System of violence Rastafari. Now stop talk and we don't tongue tie. Tell it to the rebel general don't shine.
Yes, people, welcome once again to your intercommunal sound service. How you doing? Yeah, man, tunes and a talk. And today's show, originally the one that was supposed to come out this week, I decided to change it, and I did this recording and say I'm gonna put it out because I'm in a pensive kind of mode and just some reflection, and I'm going through a bit of thought process, thinking some stuff, and I've got a situation dealing with for quite a number of years, and I've dealt with it really well the best way possible, and I'm gonna use this space and just use it to really free my soul and speak my mind to. And this issue has been going on for a bit too long till I just find it, I can't even find word. And this even has to do with my son's mother, to be honest, Right now, all I can say with all what's happening and being a person in the world of music and entertainment, and we've get the hardest hit, you think some people can have an understanding to certain things. And one of the key thing right now for me is that I stay afloat, and I do so through the music and communication, with people who can really communicate. And I'm going to lay out a little bit more to what's going on. And apart from that, I also lost a friend, couple of weeks, going a month, going, around that time. I had a friend who also committed suicide with all the stuff going on. Apparently, he lost his job, having a lot of problem, the landlord. And I got the news, and I just dealt with it in my own way. I never said much to anyone or get it, that kind of energy to anyone. So even when I did the last Tunes and a Talk couple, Tunes and a Talk, that was even on my mind because it happened and I dealt with it my own way. But to contribute to matters, it's like my son's mother is going a bit too far and too much. Now I'm just going to start speak my mind because I'm not the only father or man facing this kind of issue. And I'm not going to hold back anymore. You know, I've suffered long enough in many ways. And right now I'm traveling, moving around, trying to create content to build my stuff and keep myself creative and move around creative people. And, you know, I'm actually in London doing this recording and trying to see my son. And every time I see my son, it's always an issue and using my son as like collateral, threatening material for no apparent reason, in which I'm even struggling in my own way, and I don't put that on anyone, even from a financial perspective, because I'm just kind of off of my saving and, you know, doing what I can do. And, you know, my son's mother even actually bring the child maintenance service on me, you know, saying that, you know, I'm not even looking after my son. But people really and truly, you know, so enough is enough. So I just decided to play some music, and, you know, I'm in the space of great people. And you see, people, what I've learned over these years, you know, all these years, money, me personally, not speaking for anyone, I've earned it, I've made it, I've used it, I've shared it, I've done everything. But that's not everything. My best investment in life was always people. And yes, when you invest in people, it goes a long way. Because even through this turbulent time, if I didn't know how to live with people and be real respectful and honest and genuine to people, I don't know how I would have survived this. And it's from that good you pay forward, it comes back in other ways. Not even from the same person, but other people. And that's why I said the best investment in life is people, because it goes a long way. So enjoy some music, share the moment with me, and just know that all is well.
I'm not a pacifist, I don't pacifist. Comes to passive fist, a revolutionist against passiveness. I'm not a pacifist, I don't pacifist. Comes to passive fist. I'm not a pacifist, I don't pacifist. Comes to passive fist, a revolutionist against passiveness. I'm not a pacifist, I don't pacifist. Comes to passive fist. Can I, sir, can I have a minute of your precious time? See, I reside in the state of mind, divided of love and hate combined. My chicks and goals, swallowing the reader. I have a following, so to stop it, be a leader. I had a cold divided folks, and with catapults. I had a cold of battle folks, and with catapults. But now was not one, that was then. I gather my strong-minded men. A pacifist will defend the future, no longer an enemy, but a friend till the end. When innocence will hopefully finally win. Hopefully finally win the revolution of the mind as each day passes. I'm not a pacifist, I hate the crowds and socialness of the masses. I want a classless society, simply ignited by a spark in my teeth. Oh jeez, if it only was so simple, please. If it only was that simple, please. Distinguished, incorrect, capitalist society. I have big dreams, but you're always sleeping. Pacifism, constructed for the weak mind alone. Not clothed for my soul. That I can lend, borrow, or simply outgrow. No. I'm not a pacifist. No. So welcome to my place of life. Until we know what it feels like to fight for a cause. The revolution was simply die. But now it is time for self-realization. And upon self-realization, it is time for activation. I'm not a pacifist, I don't pacifist. Comes to pacifist, a revolutionist against passiveness. I'm not a pacifist, I don't pacifist. Comes to pacifist. I'm not a pacifist, I don't pacifist. Comes to pacifist, a revolutionist against passiveness. I'm not a pacifist, I don't pacifist. Comes to pacifist. I'm chained to circumstance where every day I dance with the devil's advocate. What's the use of free will when we really don't have it? Is this the path life has isolate. If today is depressing, then tomorrow's a gift, and I know I deserve it. I know I deserve it. The government really got its hands around your throat, squeezing harder, 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 flipping bills while you choke. Capitalism is the name of the game, where the world aims to restrain those of us with open brains, those of us with open brains. But you know, big businesses loves it when the government wipes their asses, turning the pyramid eye away from the huddled masses. You say you want a classless society, anxiety, building up inside of me, and not I cry to sleep. I just done in my mind's privacy. You'll find it deeper to me, a century on my family tree, and loads to show for it. Used to light but can't walk towards it. Torn away by 5 horses. Of course it's sin, but my origin is something you couldn't cope with. Cope with this, as I have spoken. I desire to leave you with the words of my poem. Not a pacifist, goes to pacifist. Revolutionist against passiveness. I'm not a pacifist, I don't pacifist, goes to pacifist. Raise your fist, raise your fist. Just raise your fist, raise your fist, raise your fist. I don't pass it, raise it, raise it.
I hope y'all understand what I'm got to know the nature of what we're fighting to get liberation. Y'all understand what I'm saying?
Yes, and that's the sound of DJ Vadim, and it features Sarah Yarbrough, and that's one called The Pacifist. And before that, you heard from my hometown boy Blackout J.A. and a track entitled We're Stronger. So I'm going to play another track and come back and just have a little chit chat, tunes and a talk. So in the meantime, enjoy. This is from the one called Afura, and it features Kimani Marley, and this one is called Equality.
Slow down, don't rush. I'm here to keep the peace, but I'm prepared. Say, hey, slow down, don't rush. I'm here to keep the peace, but I'm prepared. Now I say,
I pledge allegiance to the hip hop. Yeah, I pledge allegiance to it non-stop. What? I pledge allegiance to the hip hop. Yeah, I pledge allegiance to it non-stop. Meditation, equality, it keeps me level-headed, the mentality. Cool, calm, post-hypnotic with suggestion. Never stressing, heat chambers never sweating. Honey's crying, cause her man she caught cheating. Mother's iron, sons cut down like bushes. Daddy sickening, the landlord just evicted. Stretched to death month by month until he kicked it. I seen you hustling on the dark streets, the mental. Look what you've been through, you just escaped reality. Now what you're into is just a technicality. Check it, deep inside of my head like TV. The lifestyle I live so crooked you won't believe me. Lessons learned that I could walk a tightrope. Even though I toke and choke, don't provoke. Now you can call me Afu Rasta Hood, cause I rob from the rich and I give to the good. Even though it's for the money, B, I'm dropping knowledge, G. Straight shots to the head, peep the summary. Wake up in the morning, got me yearning for food. Yeah, what, huh? I'm that type of dude. Pledge allegiance, pay attention, paying homage. So much time held in my hand, none for college. I pledge allegiance to the hip hop. What? I pledge allegiance to the hip hop. Yeah, I pledge allegiance to it non-stop. What? I pledge allegiance to the hip hop. What? I pledge allegiance to it non-stop. Yeah.
Slow down, don't rush. I'm here to keep the peace, but I'm prepared to bust. They wanna cut my meditation with their crooked laws. Say I can hold a bob and smoke my law, but if it's war that they want, we already all praises to the king. It is he who defends me. So when it's time for the showdown, we'll march in as soldiers Babylon get thrown down. When the war is over, we burn up the whole town, and my split will stay lit from sun up till sundown. Hey, ya fool, slow down, don't rush. I'm here to keep the peace, but I'm prepared to bust a fool. Slow down, don't rush. I'm here to keep the peace. Hey, ya fool, slow down, don't rush, don't rush.
Stimulating Lyrics is like blood working. Paper hits the pen like the needle to your skin. Blow your blood up. Cena, heroin, more contagious than sex. Nobody flex. Dangerous minds, little kids, throw gang signs. Treacherous times, too many compressed rewinds. Just the elevation. Wrap my thoughts like a mummy. It's funny how sometimes some smart ones are dummies. Scoring a million, forget the SAT. Now I leap on towers in Pisa, peep the ether. Wrap it in a scroll, pass it off to Kamani. Lessons of exquisiteness versus poetry.
Hey, you fool, slow down, don't rush. I'm here to keep the peace, but I'm prepared to bust. They wanna cut my meditation with their crooked laws. Say I can hold a bob and smoke my law, but if it's war that they want, we already are registered. The king, it is he who defends me. So when it's time for the showdown, we'll march in the soldiers, Babylon get thrown down. When the war is over, we'll burn up the whole town. And my split will stay lit from sun up till sundown. Hey, hey, you fool, slow down, don't rush. I'm here to keep the peace, but I'm prepared to bust a fool. Slow down, don't rush. I'm here to keep the peace. Hey, hey, you fool, slow down, don't rush.
Yeah, I pledge allegiance to the hip hop. Yeah, I pledge allegiance to it non-stop. What? I pledge allegiance to the hip hop. Yeah, I pledge allegiance to it non-stop. Yeah, I pledge allegiance to the hip hop. Yeah, I pledge allegiance to it non-stop. What? I pledge allegiance to the hip hop. Yeah.
Sounds of Afura featuring Kimani Marley and Equality. Yeah, people, I think this session I'm just gonna share a little bit about why I'm feeling such pensive mode, as I mentioned. But there's quite a lot of things. You see, I'm very good at handling pressure and, I can thrive under pressure. But I get tired. And when I say I get tired, I don't mean like I feel worn out or worn out by people, I'm just tired of what I see, and it's been going on for quite a long time, from Jamaica all the way to, here in the UK, and just moving around people. And a lot of the problems that I see and why I feel tired are always created by adults, That's part of it. Even take a look at what's going on around the globe now, I just feel we're governed by educated fools, for starters, and the stuff they do and decision they make, and this lust for greed and violence and all of that. So yes, I get tired. But when people that are quite close to me contribute to that level of tiredness that I am feeling, it becomes a bit, just senseless, and especially when you feel that, there should be people uplifting you in many ways, no matter what. Now, I realize I'm also in a situation where many men, and I'm gonna speak in defense of the men for this one, because I'm always for the woman, and I've always supported and stood by women in many ways, try to uplift, never disrespected, never ever used or abused anyone, and I'm grateful for that. But I know sometimes, the opposite sex, they do abuse situation, especially when it concerns fathers. And I never thought I would be in a situation like this. I've never dreamt of it. That's why even in Jamaica, I never started a family, because I knew I would be traveling of what I was doing, what I intended to do, and it wouldn't be fair on, whether I had a wife or a partner and children. So I never decided to start a family in Jamaica. The minute I decided to start a family, it's with a person I felt, you could have shared your life and all that. It didn't work out. And believe you me, I wasn't the one who walked from my family. That's another story which I won't get into, but I was actually pushed out. And, it's hard on me at times, knowing that I'm not around my son the way I intended to be. And it's just become a problem more and more. And, I would have felt better if, say my son's mother, because they're a woman like her, would have just said, I just want a child, basically that's it, At least give somebody something to think about or make a decision from that basis. But don't bring a child and then you create certain level of animosity and then create a problem, then pretend like you're this helpless single mom, because a lot of mothers doing it and they think the system is for them, so you play this kind of guilt trip on others and feeling sorry for and all that kind of stuff. And it's just outright evil, nasty, and cruel. And I'm starting to realize there's a lot of men in this situation, decent, upright, standing citizen men who's there for the children or want to be there and that kind of stuff. Women use the children as weapons. You know, like I say, I won't get in full details, but I'm just going to speak my mind as I go on. And it's a form of my freeing my soul and kind of letting you aware, because this is the real world. Now, I'm actually, like I say, here in London to try do certain things to, you know, progress myself in order for me to help people, help, you know, even my son. And that's how I am. Because, you know, for those of you who might not know, you know, I'm actually a person who is very kind at heart and really generous. I don't need anyone to even tell me that. And I've been doing this kind of stuff since in Jamaica. I had my own business, which it helped a lot of people. I looked out for a lot of people. And to this day, I still support people in the way I can, the best way I can. I've created a network of people who are very conscious and have joined forces and continue the work where I cannot, you know, continue. So, you know, for a person like my son's mother to really using my son as collateral and trying, I feel like it's just a drag down and a tear down. What's the point? Because I'm just being honest, right now, I'm here to look after certain business, even regarding my tunes and a talk, just to meet people, talk, interview, and all that stuff, to try and excel myself and create a platform and space for other people within this crisis. So I'm not going to come to London and not see my son, but just the mother makes things so complex, people. Right now, I feel like I really might just come and not see him. Just for peace reign and just for my own sanity. And I'm very sick and tired of the behavior, not just, you know, by her, but by other women who does these things. Seriously. And I'm tired of people trying to play this guilt trip. And I've learned a lot from the few relationships I had. There are similarities. And that's why even myself right now, I just kind of keep myself to myself. And I feel like I'm at a point I don't even feel like I want to share, you know, my intimate life with any, you know, body to get close to again in relationship wise. I feel like I just rather do the best I can, continue on my path of finding certain levels of humanity and common ground between different, you know, levels of people in society. I've got an ancestral story where, you know, I want to pursue and use that in society to make a better place, you know. So I'd rather put my energy and focus on that. But I haven't got time to waste anymore with anyone in that aspect, especially after what's just happened regarding my son and his mother and the whole situation. I didn't intend to grow apart from my son or be away from my son. That wasn't the intention, and I did not create that. So yes, I feel tired. Like I said, my tired is just the behavior from what I see displayed by adults globally. So yes, that's how I am tired. You know? So, like I said, my investment is people, but at some time you gotta leave some people where you left them. And I find myself doing that. Even with this whole, you know, global madness, you know, that's going on. It showed up a lot of people in my sense, you know, my view. And as such, I have to deal with accordingly. You know, but I'm just really tired of the behavior of adults in many ways, people. And I'm just being honest. So, one of my medicine and cure is the music, apart from having still great people around to have great conversations. And that's why I always invest in people.
You are about to hear an historic recording.
I must search the endless night.
It is far more significant today in the light of subsequent events.
I was wrong. Oh, all my wasted, I was dead.
I'm vexed, I'm perplexed.
next like Malcolm X, or slaves with chains around their necks from the threat of the government's evil flex. I'm taking steps against the kind of eyes they trying to bring me as a Naya Bingy soldier with Jehovah's strength within me. Daily papers are just propaganda scriptures from the government. It's not the daily news, it's a daily satanical supplement, cause they don't deal with holy testaments, just war and pestilence. Can I get a witness? I don't need one, in fact there's too much evidence. Spying on the people, lying evil little devils. They're recruiting demon soldiers while they execute our rebels. CCTV cameras, they're set up on all man's borders, but they're not for law and order. They're Lucifer's camcorders. Politicians, they're not concord borders. They're using flying saucers designed to take to the sky or travel underwater. Chameleon type reptilians moving their tongues like geckos, and they're trying to turn our ghettos into oversized death rows. You want heroin? There's tons of that. Guns and crack, but who got the funds and cash? The same people that supply guns to Iraq. They pimping the public like rent boys, prostitutes and hookers, bringing strain to the brain as you remain in this giant pressure cooker behind your back. Try to juke you, promise the world and overlook you, spreading the evil of a Beelzebub. These human race butchers, mankind destroyers. Life I'm chasing those Freemasons, chasing them back to the place of birth to reverse all their creation. Scientists give us fabrication of mathematical equations, but the square root of my truth would cause a devil devastation.
Hey, listen, I'm more than vexed. I live in a time where I can't afford to flex. The police are stopping and searching just like some illegal border checks. You better beware, we're living inside the Lucifer's era. My cipher's been scientifically sent back in time to prepare ya. So start stoning the Babylonians to show you're controlling them. Cause it's Babylon that be fueling my anger just like petroleum. I'm scolding them with the hard rhymes from the scarred mind, from living amongst the hard times. The people that's working for all of the serpentine. The devil's disciples that stifle our plans for freedom. If we keep conforming to all of these laws that's set by the demons, they're thinking their intellects by flooding the whole world with the internet. If they're thinking they got me, their information be incorrect. I'm using my third eye to guide eye through the wilderness. Cause the system in Babylon's bad and there's enough people that's killed in this. I'm vexed with the devil's descendants with paganist pendants for having a lack of faith and a disregard for repentance. My lyrical sentence is longer than people that's charged for child sex. Cause all the disordered leaders are into having a wild flex. I'm vexed with the government sex for having this minimum wage and working this 9 to 5, bringing heat to my simmering rage. I spit this lyrical wisdom to chant down the Babylon system. The rebellious Rastafarian is flinging his fist to the system.
Listen, Natty, if the devil tries to take Selassie for some fasty, you lose more blood than the face of a Toro Gatti. I'm a raw rhyming Natty, smoking idle, keeping it tribal, while reading pages of the Bible to gain vision as a disciple. Studying the Rasta night school while using my tongue as a rifle. Snipe you with words from the Bible, cause life I'm all about survival. I spit in my vital recital, so bright that it melt your eyeballs. Turn an antichrist suicidal, wrestle the devil like Shawn Michaels. The clash of the titans, the Lord will crush the devil and take his title. For life will remain these messengers, cause a Rasta revival. No time to idle, the Rastas are rising black. We come to wipe out crack, paint the White House black and speak real facts to the children. Expose our government foes who know the truth has never been told. They tease the people of the root of all evil while they stashing all the gold. Attacking their souls and spirits till your life is finished. For life I spit the righteous lyrics, change the mind of the cynics, help the blind and timid. Cause when I talk, my vocal force is blessed with holy powers, making devils cower while shaking the foundations of the Babylon Tower. I terminate them like T2 when I spit my scriptures in Hebrew. A politician, not an honest man, like a hologram he be see-through. Trying to deceive you, lead you up the path so that they can feed you with information based on corruption, lies and misindication. But life from a federation that's representing the Rasta nation. So when we flex on the rhythm, we draw on the powers of the Lord, perform an exorcism, inject the rhythm of the holy serum, purify all the fat cats who experiment on innocent lives like people were monkeys or lab rats.
My conquering sound can tear the transponders out of your pounds and explode Babylon satellites to scan it down to the ground with the type of coast that revealed that we're living under a microscope. My cipher was strangling Babylonians with the tightest rope. I'm bringing the violence, you can fuck with living with silence. Cause before long, we'll be forcing us into buying the breathing license. I'm dissing authority with my forces of purity. I piss in parliament and I fight in the face of conformity. I never fell in the government census, they cunningly sent us. Just asking me information like what I ate for my breakfast. Cause we're the messiah, just bringing more fire to this empire. With the type of tribal recitals to setting Satan on fire. We're killing the pagan and shaman, the for life cipher will slay them. Reveal the seven seal to start the Freemasons complaining. When positive action infiltrates into paganist factions. And smashing your PlayStation and all these tools of distraction. With adequate satisfaction of smashing Babylon's walls. To stop all the fat cat bureaucrats from having it all.
I must search the endless night. I was wrong, and now she's gone. Said I've got to make her see. I must forget the letter she left on there. You say,
oh, we must all never careful. That's the rascal off none.
That's the sound of For Life Cypher and a track entitled Ghetto Rebels, and that's DJ Vadim on the production side of things. So big up to For Life Cypher. Yeah, man. Right now I'm gonna take a track. Well, at least this one is a video, and this is from my great friend Imara, and this one is called Technology. So here it is.
Yo, right now Imara locking to Intercommunal Sound Service, tunes and a talk with your host, Soul's Liberation. Stay tuned. Struggle goes on. We are the builders of the pyramids. We are the builders of the stone cities of Zimbabwe. We build them White House. We build them factories. With blood, with sweat, with tears. With flesh, with bones. Them use build them economy. Now them want come con you and me. With them science and them technology. We make them take with knowledge. Now them are deafly. Them are blindly. We are walk, we are ride, we are drive, we are fly. Nah look, nah see. Eyes focus on the screen of an iPhone, Galaxy, tablet, Blackberry. Wake up, look. Uno no sister them a bury with. Ancestors crying out. Them a weep, you see we heading back to slavery. Robotic, digital, technological slavery. The rich take them session, call it recession. Left the world in depression. Legal and illegal drugs and alcohol on the rise. In dear interest. To our demise we patronize, now become marginalized. Make fools seem wise because we are by them lies and sell with lives. Prostituting our sons, daughters and wives. Marcus did rise. Sam Sharp did rise. Bogle did rise. Taki did rise. Queen and Zinga did rise. Harriet Tubman rise. Rosa Parks rise. Malcolm X rise. Frederick Douglass rise. Ancestors rise. Eileen Thomas said, Imara rise. Organize, mobilize, visualize. Stop look through for them eyes and through your own eyes. Give them back them gadgets. Free yourself from debt. The robotic digital technology of we are live on credit. While we learn our property, them take it, sell it. Guard your mind. Guard your children mind. Go wear a puppet government. Them ready to sell it. It's up to me and you to stop it. Come, make we do it. The struggle goes on. The struggle goes on and on and on. The struggle goes on. The struggle goes on. The struggle goes on and on and on. The struggle goes on. The struggle goes on, yeah. The struggle goes on, well. The struggle goes on and on and on. The struggle goes on. The struggle goes on. The struggle goes on. The struggle goes on, well. The struggle goes on. The struggle goes on and on and on. The struggle goes on. The struggle goes on, well. The struggle goes on, yeah. The struggle goes on and on and on. The struggle goes on. The struggle goes on, yeah. The struggle goes on, well. The struggle goes on and on and on. The struggle goes on. The struggle goes on. The struggle goes on. The struggle goes on. The struggle goes
goes on. The struggle goes on.
Man's ultimate desire is freedom and happiness.
John Doe. This sound like the show shot.
Yeah. Them
97 spot.
That's blow like the break.
Word up. High tower on the board, you know what I'm saying? My man M.O. Yo, but it's a lot of negativity flowing through the hip hop these days, you know what I'm saying?
Got to kill the noise.
Brothers don't understand. They need to
check the whistles in the wind. Release your mind and slip with me between the crease of time. Cause peace of mind is a condition people cease to find. I be sublime, my compositions equally refined. I redefine the definitions, read between the lines. The seeds of time produce the everlasting fruits of life. Confusion strife has got me moving on into the light. A youth in flight showing improving how we doing mics. We rips at night, showing up improving, grooving too precise. We knew the price to rule the mics and now we paying dues. They saying who's those D-Lo brothers that be slaying crews? Parlay with brews and choose to snooze, it's just a wicked tool. Diffuse your trinkets cause we link it with infinite jewels. You know the rules to keep it real if you possess the gift. Stop the slander propaganda's like a sedative. Some mental states perpetuating all that's negative. I manifest and bless the gift, that's all I said it with.
walking down blank corridors, weapons stored in the arsenal of the memory bank. My tongue is sharper than your shank. I rank high on intelligence and low on tolerance for your trife life and ignorant irrelevance. I swell against the system, rebel against the walls of the lies. Like when angels are at war in disguise. Open the eyes of demons and leave them hypnotized. For crisis on the rise inside me. Men walk the path far too lightly and widely to stomp on past where I be. Stars guide me and question you. Celestial planes and back again. I'm blowing to and fro like whistles in the wind.
Now, if you had ever been wondering why, you see what you see on the dynamic screens of TV isn't the same as when you was a shorty. Believe I'm no expert. I was raised on Pac-Man and Q-Bert, but now I see Psychics Network. Sodom gains its power hourly, transferring their perceptions of right living into your mental imagery. And soon the whole world follows, so be it no surprise you find yourself on your knees one Sunday morning worshiping the sunrise.
Let's get scholastic and evaluate the aptitude. Commercial tactics making rappers cause you acting rude. Your altitude has got you nothing to stand firm upon. I was amongst the magnitudes when I first turned the dawn. Job bless the light, address the sight, ignite my third eye. Incite my wisdom, penetrate into your fertile crescent. You know my essence, my presence bring forth new faith. I stand alone and battle on against the two-face. Babylon to hold my own because it's rugged though. I'll be that diamond in the rough, see a nugget gold. I got no time to encourage your procrastination. They want my mind assassinating my imagination. And that's a crime premeditated, so through meditation I write my rhymes incarcerated in my situation. My soul of fine as I recline in the precipitation. I'll be sublime within, forever living like the whistles in the wind.
Transmit frequencies through my soul to make vinyl and plastic turn platinum and gold. Not materialistic, but man needs material. Check social security and how they change your serial number to healthcare. That's sold by Clinton to your moms for Armageddon. When rebel forces drop their bombs like first Psalms on napalm on Vietnam. I dissipate electricity through my palm. The only man considered with a mic heavily armed. Peace to all my heads in the city of charm. Representing with John Doe and the Riders of the Storm.
You're keeping things warm, little black now it's on. Man, I'm feeling the song, let's rock it on. And keep it on, then move it on. Now bust it right when I was on vacation. Like I put these thoughts in proper perspective. Now I got this main objective and that's to be selective with all the words I choose. Cause garbage be on the airwaves and video tubes. Lost for words every time I'm roaming the streets. I see the somebody bruh man's record cause he got fat beats. But he ain't saying nothing. And this dilemma sweeps the nation. See the joint entitled and then what for further information. Don't stop. Till my man John Doe, rock on. Till the Vex the Vortex, rock on. Till my man John Doe, rock on. Till the Vex the Vortex, rock on. These be whistles in the wind, y'all.
Whistles in the wind. It's like the whistles in the wind. Got to check out the whistles in the wind. It's like the whistles in the wind. It's like the what? Like the whistles.
That's the sound of the Boogie Monsters, and that features John Doe and a track entitled Whistles in the Wind. And I hope you're really paying attention to the lyrical content of all the tracks I'm playing to the people, you know, because they're food for thought, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And before that, you heard from Aymara and his video called Tech Knowledge. So big up my brother, and big up to the entire crew as always. Just gonna take a couple more tracks and, you know, drop a few more words. And as usual, stay tuned for Nickie's Toolkit also. So in the meantime,
this is Mim Suleiman, and you're in tune to your intercommunal sound service, Tune and a Talk, with your host, Soul Liberation. Keep it real, keep it locked, stay tuned.
Are you ready, black people? Listen. Ain't nowhere to run to. Are you ready? Are you ready, black people? Are you ready, black people? Are you ready? Are you really ready?
Ready or not, here I come.
Sleepwalk away. Those who correlate know the world ain't cake. Jail bars ain't golden gates. Those who fake, they break. When they meet their 400-pound mate, if I could rule the world, everyone would have a gun in the ghetto, of course. We get the up and on their horse. I kick around drinking moonshine. I pour a sip on the concrete for the deceased. But no, don't eat. Why clubs in a state of sleep, thinking about the robbery that I did last week. Money in the bag, banker look like a drag. I wanna play with pelicans from here to Baghdad. Gun blast, think fast, I think I'm hit. My girl pinched my hips to see if I still exist. I think not, I'll send a letter to my friends. A born again hooligan, only to be king again.
Ready or not, here I come. My enemies like a game of chess where I rest. No stress if you don't smoke cess. Less, I must confess, my destinies manifest. In some Gore-Tex and sweats, I make tracks like I'm homeless. Rap orgies with Borgie and Best. Capture your bounty like Elliot Ness. Yes, bless you if you represent the fool, but I hex you with some witches brew if you do voodoo. I could do what you do. Easy, believe me, frontin' nigga give me heebie-jeebies. So why you imitating Al Capone? I be Nina Simone and defecating on your microphone. Ready or not, here I come. Gonna find you and take it slow. Ready or not, here I come.
Refugees taking over, the Buffalo Soldier, dreadlock roster. On the 12th hour, fly by in my bomber. Crews run for cover, now they under pushing up flowers. Superfly, true lies do or die. Toss me high, only puff fly with my crew from like high. I, refugee from Guantanamo Bay. Dance around the border like I'm Cassius Clay.
Ready or not, here I come. Gonna find you and take it
To me, we are the most beautiful creatures in the whole world, black people. So my job is to make them more curious about where they came from and their own identity and pride in that identity.
Yes, and that's the sound of Lauryn Hill along with Nina Simone and the Fugees. And that one is called Ready or Not. Yeah, man. And that's an America Gazaway production. And you can find this track on the album titled The Miseducation of Eunice Wayman. I know Lauryn Hill did an album called The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, but it's a mix with Lauryn Hill and Nina Simone. So check it out. America Gazaway. America Gazaway. Yeah. So before I turn it over to Nickie's toolkit and then take the last track out, I just want to speak my mind a little bit, because I see myself as a human being and I know who I am and the things I've done over the years. And at a very small age, since knowing myself, I think I'm one of those persons who has come to understand my calling in life, and if not care for granted, and even probably think you're stupid because they take your kindness for weakness, that kind of stuff. And this has been happening since Jamaica, and so I'm no stranger. And people might think because I don't make a lot of noise. You see, I don't really understand much how some people think, and I don't want to, but put it this way, there are times when it comes down to it, I don't play checkers, I can play chess, and I will play chess. And, I really don't want people to push me in that direction, So clearly, I will play chess if I need to play the game of chess. And I'll just leave it at that. I've been very kind over the years. I helped a lot of people, quite well, I wouldn't say a lot, but there are a few people out there who have also robbed me literally, financially, of money I've worked for, honestly, trying to set myself up, help myself in order to help others. And you know what I'm going to say to you all? I'm going to let you all go. I'm going to let it be. Because quite a few people have done that over the years, and the last person to do that was in last year, 2019. Won't mention any names, but I'm going to make sure you get this clip and you'll see this clip. And I'm going to let you go. You owe me quite a lot of money, and I'm sick and tired of the behavior of adults. And even for my son, mother, to call child maintenance service on me, there was no need, and what was that about? Catch these people. I'm going to tell you something. I never speak my personal life, but this one, when my son was born, I opened an account for my son. And I only found out that you only can have one parent name on the account, which I found strange. Because despite I was opening the account, I said, I want my son's mother's name. They said only one, so I said, okay. And then for a while, I decided to do certain things, and I just decided to turn it over, that account to her and put her name on it and took myself off. She being the mother. Now, over the years, I've asked, for an update on the account. I cannot receive it. And I've always put money in my son's account. When I don't give her, or since my son's got big and can calculate his own little money, I'm teaching him. So sometime, when I can, I give him the money instead. I used to send money in the post. Everything I do is a problem. Now, she said the money was for my son's university and savings. I said, fine, not a problem. But give me an update. I still cannot get an update after all these years. And I have an idea. And all what even recently, up until this point, I had put money in it. I didn't tell her, but I spoke to my son and she knows. Now, if she doesn't touch the money, that's fine, but give me an update. You have known I've always purchased stuff for my son back to school and all of that, and when I can, I chime in. And I realize sometimes when I get stuff for my son, she doesn't allow him to wear some of the clothes and even shoes I've got for my son. Trying to portray this image as if this single mother thing, and I know a lot of mothers do it. from speaking to other fathers, you know. So I don't want nobody try to play any games with me. And like I say, I am tired. I don't want nobody take my kindness for granted and think it's a weakness also. Because I watch people a lot. I watch situation. If you want to know more about a person, you watch them or a place. You study it. I'm done with them things. If you have no good intentions for people, do not go in people's domain or try to approach people. And me personally, anyone who view this or shall ever view this or whatever and know me and just know you haven't got good intentions, feel free to step away from a domain because that's not what I'm about. My drive is humanity, do the best I can. If I make mistakes, show me, communicate. I love communicating. I'm not a texting person and all of that. I'm a verbal person. I like to communicate. And if I see somebody going in the wrong path, I'm going to point it out to them because I would love for people to do the same. So I'm just tired at this point. You know, I got to say a shout out to E for, you know, allowing me to have this space and to do this recording. So much respect, E. And I got to say a shout out to all the creative people because you know what I've learned from all this stupidness that's really going on globally? Every time I go into a creative person's space, I feel at home. And I've realized, speaking to people, especially musicians, just keep saying they want to get back to what they do to make people feel happy and give them great vibes. I've never heard that from people who actually do the 9 to 5 and all that kind of stuff. I've heard this so much from creative people. So that says something. And that's the kind of energy I move around. Creative elements. And people are creative in many different ways also. People can even be creative through conversations. So do not get it wrong. That's why my life evolves around creative people. Yeah. Creative people also understands humanity. So when I say creative, the person doesn't necessarily have to be an artist of the sort. Creative people understands humanity. And that's a fact. So I want to say thanks to all the people, like I say, who have supported me, especially even through these difficult times. Because not even for once, I'm going back to my son's mother, have ever asked me all these years, how was the work? How was the job? How you doing? Never, and I'm not exaggerating. And when I think about it, at times it hurt. When I do think about it, never. But yet, you feel like you have the right to bring child maintenance service on me for no reason. Nah. And for most of your mothers who do stuff like this, you need to stop it. You all think the government is on your side and with you. You're only manipulating yourself and mainly your child or children with such behavior. You need to understand the system and what really goes on when you think you're okay in doing stuff like that. Think again. So that's it, people. Just want to hear my little views, and I'm feeling tired, like I said, because of the behavior adults. And also on top of that, I lost a very good friend of mine through suicide who couldn't cope with all this stuff. Apparently lost his job, and I won't even go into details when they found him. So I've been dealing with that in my own way. I've never said much, never said anything. But like I say, I know I'm really good at handling pressure. And I do not, really shed it on anyone. So I just decided to share what's going on with you. And at this present time. So much respect, peace, love, unity, harmony. And just take the time to be kind to each other, people. Always take the time to be kind to each other. So I'm going to leave you with Nickie's Toolkit and close out with a song from my musical sis, Mim Suleiman. So until next week, be the best you can.
Namaste and welcome to the Toolkit. Thank you for joining me in this virtual space where we share ideas, thoughts, practices, routines, tools that I have found to be supportive for a nourishing and wholesome life. And I'm trusting that they will be nourishing and supportive for a wholesome life for you as well. Now, I recently was reading from A Course in Miracles, and I met upon a phrase. I met upon this sentence that said, "Form is not content." And it resonated with me quite a bit, and that's what I want to share with you today in terms of some of the preoccupations that we find, or some of the areas that we find ourselves investing in that's not nourishing and supportive, and moving into spaces that are more nourishing and supportive. And it took me a while. Well, I sat with the statement quite a bit. Form is not content. It then led me to thinking about a picture frame not being the picture. It led me to, if the frame is hiding the picture, then the frame serves no purpose. And so I started to look at how we live our lives and how much we are limited by what we invest in and how we invest and what our expectations are. There's a lot that is happening nowadays with what is going on globally on many levels, health-wise, environmental-wise, mental-wise, physical-wise, spiritual-wise. There are so many shifts going on with our paradigm as we know it. People are banding the phrase about the new normal. But for me, every day is normal, because no 2 days are the same, no matter what is happening. And so what is required for us to embrace our days and to find our joy in the days, no matter what is happening, is for us to accept each day as it is. If we are looking at today as yesterday, we're always going to be suffering. And if we're looking at today as tomorrow, we're always going to be suffering. But we have the opportunity, the platform, and the potential to look at today as today. And so, so whatever the framework is, or the frame is that we're operating within these days, it is not the picture. So at the end of the day, there might be practices for distancing, but it doesn't mean that we are separate. I think about the fact that sometimes people are defined in this day and age, and now at this time where so many people are without a job, they're being laid off, or hours are cut, so many things have been redefined for them. It has become most traumatic for a lot of persons because they have defined themselves as their jobs, and this becomes a problem. So what happens is when that is moving, because your source of who you are is then external of you, and that's a moving target. But when who you are is not what you do, so when what your job is what you do, and that is not who you are, but who you are will determine how you do your job. And so the amount of commitment, the amount of dedication, the joy, whatever it is you take to the job is dependent on who you are as the person. And so I wanted to share those thoughts today for us to start looking, to change the lens that we're looking at whatever is happening in our space with. And for us to be reminded that form is not content. For us to be reminded that the picture frame is not the picture. And if we start obsessing and looking at the picture frame as the picture, what is going to happen is that the frame is going to obscure the picture. And then the frame serves no purpose. Because if we think of what the purpose of a picture frame is, it is to frame the picture. It's not to obscure the picture. So I want to invite everybody, as you are having your individual experiences, as we are all having a collective experience, Let us go back to source. Let's get back to basics and let's see what are we hiding, what are we using to hide things that are serving no purpose? What have we been defining ourselves as that is not really who we are? What is more form and not content that we have become imprisoned by? So take some time. I always invite you, pause, take a breath, think about it. Remember to embrace each day for what it is, and that's how we're going to find the joy in it. Thank you so much for sharing time and space with me. I wish for you a nourishing and supportive day where your picture frame will only frame your picture and not obscure it. Namaste.
Moto,